Khan, hey, shalom, shalom, akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwaf. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to tap into a brief live stream this morning, talking to a deletion weapon, all right, that Esau has been able to form in the form of a deletion weapon that comes in the form of, the name of it's called Maven, Maven Smart System prototype, and ultimately it's being used over there right now on those Palestinians, all right, via the small hats. All right, they're using it on those Palestinians right now, and Babylon the Great's actually behind them being able to get access to that technology. Now, ultimately, we're going to read into it a little bit and tap into it. I got a clip I want to show you, beloved Aki Aminakwa. All right, showing you the reality of how this thing's going to turn out. You see, when things pop off over here in Babylon, okay, the reality of Jacob's trouble being as bad as Daniel, the book of Daniel, chapter 12, you know, as vivid and descriptive as it explains, and it describes how bad it's going to be. All right, and when you tap into technology like this, you can see the validity behind the reality of that prophecy, man. Okay, now real quick, what I want to do, I want to start with that real quick. Let's start with Daniel's 12 real quick. Because if you think this technology that they're using over there on the Gaza Strip, they're not going to use over here, hey, you don't know who you're dealing with as far as evil is concerned. All right, real quick, the book of Daniel, chapter 12, and verse 1, and it reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people," right? And those specific children are the elect, and you're going to see that as we read down. The elect of the nation of Israel, he's going to stand up for. Check it out. "And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation," right? Jacob's trouble. All right, you can read about it in Jeremiah. Matter of fact, we might go grab that real quick, right? "Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book." Okay, what book? The book of life, specifically. All right, the elect that have been preordained, foreordained to be delivered in these latter days, even through death. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, real quick. Jeremiah 30 and 7. "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it." See, this is talking to Daniel 12 and 1, right? "It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it," man. All right, so the elect of Jacob is going to be delivered out of the trouble that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to bring upon him. All right, ultimately, I'm highlighting this point because at the end of the day, we know Evil E has his sights set, all right, on Jake, all right, the elect specifically. We know this via many scriptures, but Revelations 12 and 17, all right, comes to mind. All right, the dragon is going to make war against the woman, okay? The dragon being Evil E in the form of this revived Western Roman Empire, the woman being Israel, bro, okay? The elect specifically of the nation of Israel. Remember, the scriptures liken us to, like in Jerusalem, unto a delicate and comely woman. All right, and obviously, you know, the land, it's a people before it's a place. You see? So we know Esau has his sights set on the ministry, you believers, you beloved Akiyam and Akwat that believe the report, that have turned back to your power wholeheartedly. You see, he has his sight. Matter of fact, let me prove that. Let's go get that. He has his sights set on the ministry. You see? And wait until we tap into the nuts and bolts of this technology we're speaking on. All right, Revelations 12 and 17 real quick. And the dragon was wroth with the woman. You see that? Again, the dragon being evil E in the form of this revived Western Roman Empire, man. The woman talking to Israel. All right? Our so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The elect specifically. Lord willing, we're part of that precious number. Check it out. And went to make war with the remnant of her seed. See? That remnant. Isaiah 1 and 9. Well, look at which keep the commandments of power and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. But this dude's a fool, because when he descends on the elect, he's going to make a fatal mistake. Okay, pursuant to the book of Judith, the 5th chapter, if we are operating outside of the realms of iniquity, right, if we're walking the path of righteousness to the best of our ability, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai will have favor for it. He'll defend us. We'll have divine protection. All right, and this is something Evil E does know. He does in the form of the elite. They know this. They have our history. They have our relics. They know who we be. Okay, that's why they were able to fabricate history to lie to us, to keep us further and further away from our power. All right, but anyways, when you tap into this technology, all right, it's called the Maven Smart System Prototype. Now, real quick, let me show you something real before I grab this clip, because I got a clip I'm going to share with you, beloved Aki Amanakwa. This lesson was inspired by the Redacted video. Redacted, you know, they brought it out. But needless to say, what's so heavy about it too, what caught my attention was the timestamp. You see the thumbnail. That's actually from there. I pretty much copied their thumbnail. Their video ended at, you see the timestamp, what was it, 1441? 144, both ways. That's the spirit. And that's what really caught my attention. When I started tapping into the video, I'm like, oh man, the first 5 minutes. Right? It sheds light on the reality of how this thing's gonna play out. 2nd Ezra 16, you can see the reality of how this thing's gonna take off. Look, so this is the Maven Smart System, right? This is the AI overview real quick. So I just typed in Maven Smart System. It tells us this. And the Maven, M-A-V-E-N, Smart System is a U.S. Department of Defense AI platform. You see that? Leveraging machine learning and sensor data, right, in the form of drones and satellites to analyze vast amounts of video and intelligence. Okay, video as in what? Your YouTube, your TikTok, your Facebook, your Instagram, right? Check this out. Wait until you find out what it narrows down to. Right, to analyze vast amounts of videos and intelligence, creating a unified view of the battle space. We're going to highlight what that's talking to. For faster, better decisions in targeting, logistics, and predictive maintenance, transforming military operations by speeding up analysis and improving situational awareness for commanders. Watch this. When you get this word, Maven, right? All right? It literally means one who understands. And they named it the Maven Smart System Prototype is what they named it. Now, what this thing does, it narrows down on who to delete, all right, based off their social media. You see that? It could tap into your social media to narrow you down into to be if you're liking on to be a threat. All right, and we're talking about something as sensitive as you just being, you know, you have something to say about the situation you're living in. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, let alone this ministry, bro, where this evolves around. But check this out, real quick. Let's go ahead. Now, this is fair use. All right. I'm not making any monetary gain, all right, off of this video. All right, this is for educational purposes only. All right, fair use. Fair use.
Well, the U.S. is paying Palantir to track and target Palestinians.
Bear with me. How did I know it was going to do that? Bear with me, Aki Yamanakwa.
Well, the U.S. is paying Palantir to track and target Palestinians in Gaza, according to a new report that we can corroborate with official military sources. If you don't think this technology is going to be pointing at you, or at least that they don't want to, you are on drugs. And I'm going to show you exactly what it can do and why you should be worried about it. And we are unwittingly complicit because we're paying for it and allowing our government to do it right before our very eyes. What this is an AI. Let me say this right. I don't want to mess this up. It's an AI powered kill chain. That's what it is. They're already running practice. It's not just a terrorist filter, although that's how they're selling it to us. It's a system that back tests whether or not you are killable through your social media, not just your movement, not just what you've bought, not just where you've been, where you've driven, but also your social media profile. It not only identifies targets, it manufactures them. Here's the report from 972 magazine showing that the U.S. military has been operating out of a massive warehouse in southern Israel, just north of the Gaza Strip, since October. We know this because CENTCOM themselves told us. The official line here, when the U.S. military announced this, is that they are bringing together stakeholders, a word I really don't like, in order to implement the ceasefire. Well, what does that mean exactly? Who are all the stakeholders in the ceasefire? It's not Palestinians, that much I can tell you. It's anyone who's allied with Israel in order to implement the ceasefire. Now, when Israel violates the ceasefire, no problem. But what they're looking for is continued justification to violate the ceasefire. Now, what they're doing is using this AI technology and surveillance to, in the words of the military, shrink the kill chain. Here is a test run that they did just a few months ago in July. They are doing this with a Palantir software called Maven. What it does is pull data together from satellites, drones, intercepted phone calls, messages, text messages they can read, basically the entire footprint of Gaza, and then it does what they call, this is Palantir's own term, optimizes the kill chain. How do we know that this is built by Palantir? We know that because last year the United States government put out this contract saying that they are specifically hiring Palantir to do that. Note here, it says this is a one bid solicited, so that means they didn't really put this out. They asked Palantir to build exactly this. No other contractor was offered the job. But what does that mean? Optimize the kill chain. Well, we know from many government reports, including the reports of Bradley Manning, how the government just goes out and under the Obama years and willy-nilly killed all suspects and targets. And they labeled any boy over 12 an acceptable military target, even if they were civilians. They didn't have to justify it. They could just say, yeah, sure, that guy, let's kill him. In the video that was launched by Sergeant Manning, it was the United States military firing on someone who had a camera, a Reuters reporter. That looks like a gun. Let's just kill him. So what they're saying here is we can do a lot less willy-nilly killing. We can optimize the kill chain. Well, what are they going to use in order to justify this kill chain faster? It means they see a target, they run an AI search for any justification to kill that target. So say someone walking down the street, right? Okay, let's take a look at him, scan his face. What has he said on the internet? Oh, he's been critical of Netanyahu. Fire. That's essentially how this works practically, right? They can highlight justifications to kill in real time, not just based on movement, history, and association. It can also be based on social media history. They do this using a data miner. This is a startup that the United States has used before to access platforms like Twitter. So again, this is risk intelligence. So for now, they're saying, we're just looking for Hamas. That's it.
Hey, you know what?
what we're doing. But reports are not only that they're looking for Hamas, they're looking for any association with Hamas. Even is Bob's your uncle, right? Is your uncle Hamas? You're killable. There's, according to reports, they're saying the criteria is not whether a person is Hamas, but also whether a person has their relatives tied to Hamas.
All
So
right.
972 is reporting that.
So right now they're using that technology over there, but this is an American technology. This is their weapon that they're letting your boy Netanyahu use. So they can, based off your there's certain platforms you're utilizing, man. Certain things you're saying. Okay? How much more this ministry, bro? Think about it. And this is how, and now when I heard about this, when I was looking into this, you could clearly see the reality now of how bad it's gonna be pursuant to Daniel's 12. You see, 2nd Esdras 16. You see, they got Esau got the technology necessary to find Jake, man. You know, but we know we're gonna be protected and defended. Lord willing, we're part of the elect. You know, but understand this, bro. Based off the, come on now, the scriptures highlight how this devil is offended by this upright conversation, man. How what we're speaking, matter of fact, is that Psalms? Let me see something. I think that's Psalms 37. Let me see something right here. Evil E's coming. He's just planning it out. Right, Psalms 37. Let me see here. Yeah, there it goes. Psalms 37 and 14. It reads, the wicked, which we know the wicked is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, pursuing to Malachi 1 and 4, have drawn out the sword. All right, they're blessing. Okay? A sword is a killing instrument, right? The modern day sword is the gun. All right? The sword in its perfection is an intercontinental ballistic missile. All right? And any type of instrument that can do you harm in between. It could from a syringe, okay, as we could see back in 2020, to the food being poisoned on us, man, the water. Hey, to this technology, man. You see? Look it. And have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Let's see if we can get this in a different translation. All right, what do you think that upright conversation's honing in on? This gospel, bro. This gospel, which is good news. It's not good news for him. Okay, we've been commanded to prophesy against Mount Seir. You see? This system, man, hey, Esau's not taking it there. But we got the Lord, though. We ain't worried. Let's get this. Yeah, let's try it in the GMB real quick. The wicked draw their swords and bend their bows to delete the poor and needy, to slaughter those who do what is right. Okay, and as we proved in Revelations 12 and 17, Esau's gunning for the remnant. Okay, but again, it's going to be to his demise when he decides to pursue the elect, all right, of the nation of Israel, bro. Because the scriptures also hone in on, let's get this right quick, as we have the title. That's in Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54. I'm going to start at verse 16 to bring more validity to why we don't have to worry. Behold, I have created the smith. The Lord saying he created the smith, right? That bloweth the coals in the fire, man. The smith will be your modern day physicist, man. These modern day scientists, bro. You see? Bringing forth these weapons of mass destruction. All right? Hey, and even these technocrats that are bringing forth these weapons of technological damage, man. All right, these technocrats brought forth this Maven smart systems prototype, bro. Okay? And again, like I agree with Natalie, man. You think they're gonna only be using it over there? Hell no, they're gonna use it over here. Didn't your boy, Peter Hegseth, say we're no longer the Department of Defense, but we're the Department of War? Come on now. They're letting the people know right in their face. They're putting it right in their face how they're about to move on you. All right, here we go. Let's read it from the top. Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. Check this out though, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord Yahweh. You see, so the elect is going to be defended. Let's get that in the Good News Bible. Real quick. Let's see what that says. Real quick. Isaiah 54 and verse 17. But no weapon will be able to hurt you. All right? You will have an answer to all that accuse you. And we know Esau's going to be accusing us. We're going to be brought forth before governors, as scriptures say. Right? But the Lord's going to put his words in our mouth. But now we're going to have to think about what we have to say. Look it, I will defend my servants and give them victory. The Lord Yahweh has spoken. Let me read this from the top. But no weapon will be able to hurt you. You will have an answer for all who accuse you. I will defend my servants and give them victory. The Lord Yahweh has spoken, bro. You see, this is Isaiah 54:17 in the Good News Bible. You see, so we are going to be defended. We're going to be protected. Lord willing, we are the elect. Lord willing. But one thing's for certain, Evil E has the technology needed, okay, to bring forth Jacob's trouble, to bring forth Daniel's 12, a time worse than the world has ever seen before, bro. This is bro, Esau, this technology that Esau has, no empire has ever had. Okay? This man's able to scan you. This technology does a background check, okay, on your social media, bro, to see if you got something to say. You got something to say, okay? You got something to post up that's anti whatever. Delete him. He's deletable. You see, it's about to get and we're warning you. We're telling you, Jake. We're telling you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American. It's about to get real out here. It's about to get real. You know? We're trying to tell you. Let's go ahead. I'm going to get this. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. In verse 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and it shall take certain of you, right? The military, there's going to be a heavy military presence in Babylon the Great, all right? More than what you see now. You see, Trump got the National Guard sprawled out everywhere. It's going to be where it's going to get more intense. You see? Why? Because martial law is going to pop off, man. Okay? Don't be surprised. There may be some type of black swan event. Something's going to trigger martial law to be triggered, issued, man, activated. All right? And this is, you have to understand, when martial law is activated, certain laws like summary execution and various other laws that are on the books activate. You see? And this is when Esau is going to be able to operate like the weasel that he is and utilize this technology, bro. Okay, on a whole nother level. Look at continuing on. And they shall take certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols, right? Gonna end up in those detention centers, man. All right. Offer that, the karagma, that grain of rice, that device the size of a grain of rice. Right, look it. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Right. A lot of you jig are gonna receive the MOTB. All right. A lot of you saying you won't take it, you're gonna end up taking it. You see, because the Spirit of the Lord is not gonna be on you not to take it. Pursuing the Revelations 3 and 10, because you didn't keep the word of his patience. You know? And those of you that do take it, you're gonna be looking crazy. All right. Hey, we know famine is a reality of the end time prophecy, scourges and calamities the Lord's gonna bring. You know, a lot of you are gonna get that charagma, think you made it. All right, like these niggas now that done sold out. These niggas that are selling out. All right, by the day, thinking they good, thinking they all right. At the end of the day, they're gonna die with a chip in them. You see, and they that consent shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection, man. Uprising, right? Upon those that fear the Lord. You see that? They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Okay? Esau is going to be gunning for the elect. Is who he's gunning for. Right? For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire, man. So it's going to take adversity, man. You know, it's going to take, because that scripture saying, what's that, Sirach 35? Mercy is seasonable in the time of affliction. All right, it's going to take a time of a straight for the Lord to really exercise that divine power upon his elect. You know, it's just what's required. The Lord's going to defend us, Lord willing, we're part of the elect when the time is necessary, man. He's defending us now on a daily. But when things are obvious, like we're reading, you know, when shit goes left, all right, through the Spirit, you know, for the elect, everything's going to go right. Let's continue on. And here's why. Hear, which means listen, O ye my beloved, right? The house of David, house of Dawadah, right? The elect. Those that are going to receive the sure mercies of David, right? Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, which means look, the days of trouble are at hand. Okay? Jacob's trouble. All right, Daniel's 12, the time like no other, man. Look, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. Right? For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is your guide, man. Whose guide specifically? And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Those that have walked in obedience, being led by the Spirit. You see? Only the elect is going to do that. All right? Let not your sins weigh you down, or let not your iniquities lift up themselves, man, because, you know, we are going to still go off up until the time of deliverance, being that we're in this corruptible flesh. We're subject to vanity. But that's why Scripture says to offend less. You know, we're conscious on, you know, our transgressions. You know, we're aware of the offense, or offenses really offenses, plural, we've committed. We know we've greatly offended our power, bro, in the previous lives, and in this one as well. Knowingly, unknowingly, you know, we need mercy. All right, and Lord willing, if we continue in the light, if Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai allows us to continue in the light, we'll be protected, man. You know, but there's no doubt about it. Evil E he's gonna be rolling, and it's gonna be like time like no other. And we see it as we get closer and closer to the end. All right, Scripture said knowledge will increase. You know, and that's on both ends of the spectrum. You know, knowledge increased on the wicked side, on the evil side, and knowledge increased on the righteous side, man. Esau has gained access to technology that is nothing any other heathen has had. All right, And again, they think they're slick. They named it Maven. They named it Maven, M-A-V-E-N, which goes into what? All-knowing, I believe it was. One who understands. Okay? One who understands. You see? So, you already know. Esau's on the move, man. You know, and he's slowly but surely, all right, setting his sights on the elect. Lord willing, we're part of that precious number. But as we know, again, upon him descending upon the elect, that's going to be his fatal mistake. You see? So, hey, Lord willing, you beloved Aki Aminakwath were edified, Abaratazah. You were informed. Lord willing, you were spiritually fed, Abaratazah, Lord willing. Again, that video was from Redacted. It was from a day ago. You know, you can watch the whole thing. Again, what was heavy was I seen the thumbnail 1441. 1440 is the thumbnail on the timestamp of the video, which was heavy. We already know that 144, and we beyond that. You know, so it was full 144 both ways. You see, so I found that to be very spiritual, because you know at the end of the day he's gonna use this technology on the ministry, bro. You know, it's without a doubt. You know, but again, as we read in Isaiah 54, no weapon formed against us shall prosper, man. Because at the end of the day, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, our power is the source, all right, of that technology. What's it tell us in Wisdom of Solomon 12:1? His incorruptible spirit is in all things, man. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakha Kwadash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, again, you beloved Aki Aminakwath were edified, spiritually fed, and informed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Hey, Shalom.